In a forgotten corner of Mumbai, behind rusting iron gates and buildings bathed in neon sorrow, lay the old red light district of Kamathipura. The days were quiet, the nights loud. Here, life moved in shadows and stories were rarely told, let alone heard. But if you ever wandered down Lane 7, past the chai stall and the cracked sidewalk where the rain always puddled, you might find a small window on the second floor. The woman behind it never called out. She never asked, "Aayega babu," like the others. She simply sat, looking out as if waiting for something or someone. That woman was Meena. Meena was born in a tiny village near Shantipur in West Bengal, a place where monsoons brought joy and mangoes, and the evenings were filled with cricket and radio songs. Her father, Rajan Das, was a humble schoolteacher. He cycled 5 kilometers every morning to teach in the next village, and came home with chalk-stained hands and a heart full of pride for his daughter. Meena was his brightest student, always reading ahead of her class, always dreaming bigger. She wanted to become a doctor, not for the white coat, but because when her younger brother died from a fever, there had been no doctor, only silence and helplessness. "We'll get you to college," her father promised. "Even if I have to sell this house, you will study." But promises are paper-thin in a world that runs on money. When Meena turned 16, her father died suddenly of a stroke. They had no savings. Her mother, already sick from years of untreated diabetes, grew weaker by the day. Their home, once warm with laughter, turned cold with worry. Then came Vinod. He was a cousin of her mother's friend. He wore branded shoes, spoke Hindi like a city man, and said he had connections. He promised Meena a job in a big house in Mumbai as a nanny. "You'll earn enough to send money home every month," he said. Her mother hesitated, but Meena wanted to help. "Just for a year, Ma. Then I'll come back and study again." They never saw each other again. Mumbai was nothing like she imagined. The city's scent was heavy, half dreams, half decay. For the first 3 days, Vinod kept her in a cramped lodge, saying her job was being arranged. On the 4th night she was drugged. When she woke up, her body ached, her lips were bruised, and she was locked in a room with a metal cot and no window. That's when the realization came. Not all cages have bars. Meena had been sold for 60,000 Indian rupees to a brothel madam known as Auntie Rukma. She fought back. She screamed, clawed, refused to eat, and threatened the clients. But every act of defiance was met with punishment: cold showers, solitary confinement, beatings. One night, they brought in 3 men to teach her a lesson. After that, Meena stopped screaming. Years passed. She learned the rules. Male. Don't fall sick. Never question. Never love. She had clients who were cruel, and some who were kind in passing. A few offered money for more than a night, but she never trusted it. She saw too many girls fall for promises of escape, only to end up in darker places. Meena became reliable, quiet, clean, predictable. She started helping new girls, cleaning their wounds, holding them when they cried, telling them stories of a better world she once belonged to. She was 25 when she started sitting by the window. She'd stare at the world she was no longer a part of. She'd watch children run after kites, lovers share ice cream, old women count change at the vegetable stall. Life moved on unbothered. No one knew that every month, Meena secretly sent money to a neighbor back home who looked after her mother's grave. One rainy night, a new girl arrived, Priya. She was just 15, from a slum in Bihar. Sold by her stepfather for money to buy a new bike. She cried for 3 nights straight. Meena brought her warm water, told her how to hide the bruises, how to survive. But Priya looked at her and said, "Didi, I don't want to survive. I want to go home." Something inside Meena cracked. Maybe it was the way Priya held her hand. Maybe it was the memory of her own first night. Or maybe it was the years of numbness finally thawing. Meena knew she couldn't save herself, but she could save Priya. That week she did the unthinkable. She lied to Auntie Rukma, told her Priya had tuberculosis, that no client would come near her. While Rukma argued with a doctor over the phone, Meena slipped Priya out the back door. She gave her the address of an old NGO contact, someone she'd once helped with medical aid for another girl. Then she gave Priya all the money she had saved in 10 years. 78,000 Indian rupees. It was everything. Priya looked at her, trembling. "But what about you, Didi?" Meena smiled. For the first time in years, it wasn't a smile she was forced to wear. "Go," she said. "Make a life. Then write to me. That's all I want." Meena paid the price. Rukma found out. She was beaten so badly she couldn't walk for a week. But no one dared kill her. She was too valuable. She healed. She returned to her corner. And she waited. A month later, a letter arrived. "Dear Didi, I'm safe. They are helping me study. I want to be a nurse. Like you wanted to be a doctor, right? I promise I'll make you proud. Love, Priya." Meena cried all night. Every month a new letter came. Simple, honest, full of hope. Meena kept them in a tin box under her bed, next to her childhood photo and a worn-out cotton dupatta from her village. It's been 12 years since Meena arrived in Mumbai. She still lives in the same brothel, on the same bed, behind the same window. She's older now, her beauty faded in society's eyes. Clients are fewer. Her body aches more than it used to. But she doesn't care. Because somewhere in Delhi, a young woman named Priya is completing her nursing course. She works part-time at a hospital. And every month, she sends a letter that begins the same way. "Dear Didi, I'm still free because of you." Sometimes heroes don't wear capes. Sometimes they wear bangles and sit quietly behind dusty windows, holding on to hope. And sometimes that's enough to change the world. The brothel was a strange kind of home. Not warm but familiar. A place where pain was a daily visitor and joy was a rare guest. Meena wasn't the only veteran anymore. Over time, the younger girls began calling her Mausi. Not because of her age, but because of the way she listened, looked after them, spoke softly, and never judged. There was Sapna, who danced before she could walk, who now cried herself to sleep, her dreams stolen by an alcoholic boyfriend who pimped her out. There was Rukhsar, who came from a conservative Muslim family, thrown out after they found out she had been raped and was no longer pure. She rarely spoke, but would lie in Meena's lap during the quiet hours, letting her guard down just for a moment. And there was Tara, fiery, rebellious, full of rage. She hated everyone, including herself. Meena never tried to fix her. She just sat with her in silence. One day, Tara snapped at Meena. "Why do you care? We're all dead inside. You're just pretending." Meena didn't argue. She just said, "Because if someone had cared for me back then, even once, maybe my life would have been different." Meena began volunteering secretly at the NGO where she'd sent Priya. She couldn't go often, it was risky. But every Sunday morning when the brothel was sleepy and hungover, she'd sneak out dressed as a cleaner and help sort medicines, counsel new girls, or just mop the floors. She didn't tell anyone. Not even Priya. One Sunday the NGO director, Anandi Madam, sat with her. "Why do you do this, Meena?" she asked. Meena looked away. "Because they think I am nothing. But here, I feel human." Anandi touched her hand. "You are more than human, Meena. You're the reason 5 girls walked out of hell this year." That day Meena didn't cry. But she did take a picture with Anandi and pinned it next to the window. The others in the brothel thought it was an old friend. No one knew what it meant to her. Priya's letters continued, but now they came with photos. Of her in a hospital uniform, of her on a city bus, of her smiling with other volunteers. One letter read, "Didi, I met a girl like me today. She was silent, broken. I told her about you. About how you gave me a second life. She cried in my arms. You are saving people even now. One day I'll come find you. I promise." The girls at the brothel had started noticing the letters. Some mocked her. Some were curious. But slowly something changed. One night, Rukhsar came to Meena with a torn notebook and whispered, "Didi, can you teach me how to read?" And so, by the dim light of a bulb that flickered like their hopes, Mina began teaching the girls how to read and write. One by one, letter by letter. By the end of that year, 4 girls could write their names. 2 applied for identity cards. 1 managed to escape using the number Mina gave her.